Well, Tim, could that have gone any better for Ange Postecoglou?
No, it really couldn't. I think they showed character from going behind in a London derby. Very emotional game, especially for the West Ham fans. Now, this is their biggest game of the season. Obviously, Tottenham and Arsenal is a bigger game from Tottenham's point of view. To go behind and then come out with that character in the second half after what happened at Brighton before the international break, I think is not only the ability of his side, but the character of his side really shone through, and I think the manager would be delighted with that performance.
Yeah, and you talk about how, and we said this before the game, how this fixture almost means more for the West Ham fans than the Spurs. Could it have been any worse for West Ham in the end?
No, you can't get worse than that. You know, obviously there's ways, listen, you can lose football matches, but I think if you lose in that manner, especially when you sort of like you score the first goal, then you think, OK, try and hold on to that. You know, Tottenham are going to always put you under pressure. Been at home, they play with an intensity, they create a lot of chances. But I think that second half performance, you know, you just can't concede goals like that. You know, you just can't fall apart. And I think it's the way that they've lost that game. You know, the second half was it's just a completely different team in the first half and that. And you can obviously still, you see by the sending off the frustrations of the players. There was sort of like no structure. You know, it was loads of transitions and that. No one was sort of like running back. There was no structure of the team. Just completely different to the first half.
Their capitulations as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only Wolves who conceded more goals than West Ham this season. You know, it's really not good enough.
OK, let's get some post-match reaction from the Spurs camp and hear from one of their goal scorers. Ange Kulusevski is with Becky Ives.
Dejan, you've been taking in these celebrations with the Tottenham fans. It was a London derby that seemed to have everything. Goals, red cards, how was it out there?
Yeah, first half was tough, honestly, because, you know, you cannot always be 100% physically. And they did good. They scored a goal. We didn't defend good. But then when I scored 1-1, I knew we were going to win. So that was important.
Is there a better feeling than scoring at home? Your first this season, second overall.
No, it's why I work for, especially shoot outside of the box. So it was important for me. And now I can only look forward and help this team anymore.
Were you pleased with the reaction, though, from going 1-0 down?
Yeah, I think when we play good, we're unbelievable. But we have to defend much better, and we have to train on that more.
Take us inside the dressing room at half-time. Ange Postecoglou has decided to make a substitution. What is his messaging at this point?
I think the balance was not good enough. We were a little bit too much offensive, so we have to look into that and improve next game.
Did that allow you, though, to have more freedom, relieve you of defensive duties a little bit? And do you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course. Like, it's hard to do both things all the time. So it was good that we got Pop in, and I think Pop changed the game for us.
Well, in that second half, I think it was 7 minutes and 14 seconds between 2-1 and 4-1. The atmosphere in here and everything, just the momentum. The smile comes over your face when I say that. The momentum was with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Tottenham football. When everything is clicking, we can score 4 goals in 4 minutes. So more of that, please.
Is this get you back on track?
Yeah, but like keep by saying, we forget about this tomorrow and work even harder because we have to go up in the championship.
All right, well, one final thing. You are the player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he scored a terrific goal, did Ange Kulusevski, in that 4-1 win over West Ham. Interesting what he said, Tim. When we click, we're capable of doing anything. I mean, we were questioning Ange and his stance on his front foot approach, but the players totally believe it.
100%, and why wouldn't you enjoy it, especially if you're an offensive player? I mean, you come in as a wide right player or off the left-hand side. He's transformed him into a central midfield player. I always look at midfield players if I would want to go up against them. I don't want to go up against this guy. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
He's quick, he's strong, he travels with the ball, he's got an eye for a pass, and obviously got an eye for a goal. He scored 8 goals in the Premier League last year. That's his second goal. He scores big goals. You know, he scored in a derby today, he scored at Old Trafford. If he can continue with that ratio, he's a player. He is one of the very few top signings they've made. Because a lot of these players now they've looked mediocre in the past. And I've always criticised the recruitment, but I think now, because of this manager, because of the offensive players, and Mickey van der Ven, who's been a revelation, I think Ange Postecoglou is shining them in the correct light. And all of a sudden, the recruitment department must be saying, see, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I think they're working hand in hand. So at the moment, I know it's game to game and they need more consistency because before the international break, the Brighton game, second half, they were the whipping boys. Let's criticise Tottenham. Can't criticise that performance today. And I think over the period, we talked about their weakness and their strengths. Their weakness for me are the fullbacks when they're asked to defend. Their strengths are almost the fullbacks when they're asked to attack. And the manager is saying, just go and attack. Do what you're good at. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the second half, because clearly the first 8 minutes put paid to West Ham in quick time. Jermaine, Bissouma got the ball rolling, didn't he?
Yeah, but, Tottenham, a lot of the Tottenham goals are always the same. They get into these half spaces where the fullbacks will get into these areas where they just cross it across the box. You see Udogie here, he's really clever where he gets himself and the timing of the run, and there I think he's going to cross it. He comes back, a little bit of composure, and just pass it to the edge of the box with Zuma. Soft pass for him to finish first time. But that started it, really. But, they're so good at getting into these areas, and they're so consistent with it. And you can tell that there's something that they work on every single day. And, it's like Tim said, it's everything just comes from the fullbacks.
Yeah. You don't see fullbacks in that position.
No.
For any other team. Basically, what the manager says is, if you see grass in front of you, go forward, express yourself and balance off. And that's what they do. And Udogie and Pedro Porro are fantastic in the final third.
2-1 soon became 3-1, an unfortunate own goal from Todibo.
It was unfortunate, but I thought it was decent. Progressive play for Tottenham again. And as Kulusevski gets out onto his right-hand side, do not show him on his left side, cuts it back to Sonny, and they get unlucky. Yes, they get unlucky, but I think Tottenham deserved it. When you give Tottenham the momentum and they have that head of steam going forward, they're almost unstoppable. And they just want to attack. They go right for the heart of the defence of West Ham, and they get fortunate with the finish, of course they do. That helps with the confidence, and then they were just flowing from there on in. Unfortunately, West Ham just couldn't cope.
Yeah, that actually, technically, goes down as an own goal to Areola, because the final touch just coming off the keeper there. But West Ham just couldn't live with Spurs at this point.
No, not with that intensity. The second half, the way Tottenham played in the second half, with the forward runners, that sort of pressure. Every time they won the ball back, the first pass was forward. They had runners. Yeah. And most importantly, when they got the chances, they scored. I think, you look at this one, you cannot leave Son 1v1 in these areas. I called it before. As soon as he landed, I said this is a goal. And Tim made a point saying Brennan Johnson there, you watch, he's on the right side of the picture there. He's really clever, actually, because he just holds his run. Because he looks across and probably thinks, Sonny, 1v1, he should get a shot at goal. And, and it's a great goal. But even there, you talk about West Ham, the defending and the people sort of like doing the hard yards, getting back in the position, just leaving your defender 1v1 with Son, one of the best in the Premier League, and he gets his goal.
It's what he needed, isn't it, having missed the last 5 games for club and country?
Yeah, you always want to score, Jermaine, and tell you that. He's a leader of the group, fantastic individual. His attitude every single day on the training pitch, and when he steps on the turf there, the fans love him, and he continually repays them with the numbers what he produces year on year out.
Well, dare I say, the Spurs head coach Ange Postecoglou will be delighted after that result, particularly after their fierce rivals. So let's hear from him now.
Ange, a good day at the office for you?
Yeah, no, fair to say. I thought we were good today. I had to work pretty hard first half, and but we got back into the game after obviously conceding, and then second half was outstanding from the lads. Real good energy, good goals, good football. Probably could have had a couple more, but yeah, good day at the office.
Do you feel that was down to the substitution that was made at half-time? Can I just confirm it was just tactical rather than any injury? Yeah,
no, it was tactical. I just felt we needed a bit more running power in that midfield area. I had a feeling we'd finish strong, and Pape gives us a real good energy there, and I thought that helped us in the second half.
Yeah, it went from 2-1 to 4-1 in about the space of 7 minutes. The momentum, the atmosphere, did you all feel it?
Yeah, and that's what you want to generate at home. I thought the crowd played their part, and if we can become that kind of team that... I said we've had periods like that so far this year where we haven't capitalised. Today we did capitalise, and if we continue that, then like I said, we're going to be hard to stop.
So many good points as well. Bissouma getting on the score sheet. Kulusevski is normally a creator. Today also getting on. Must please you.
Yeah, it's good getting goals from midfield. Obviously, guys like Brendan and Dom have been scoring lately, but I think we need to get more goals from midfield, and Decky was great today, and Biss did a really good job, and good for the skipper to come back and score as well. You know, he's a quality player, and you know, when we got him out there, we're a better team.
Yeah, I was going to say his contribution, I guess, can never be underestimated.
No, he can't. I mean, you know, somebody who's done it at this level for so long. Like I said, he's a quality player, and he's our captain, and it's great to have him out there again.
And look, for the fans today, a good performance for them, back on track.
Yeah, no, great day for our fans. We know this fixture means a lot to them, and you know, players have sent them home happy, which is great.
Yeah, the fans would be very happy, to say the least. I'm not quite sure about James Maddison, though, the way he was substituted at half-time. He cut a pretty frustrating figure.
Yeah.
When we saw him in the second half. It was a tactical change.
It was, yeah, and I think it was a brave one because he was playing well. Like I say, he'd had the most touches out of any player on the pitch at half-time. I thought he was progressive with his passing. He didn't waste the ball, but they wasn't happy with the balance, and the manager makes a change. And you see with Sarr when he come on, covered every blade of grass, set up Son for his goal. So as a player, as much as he's disappointed, Matters, he will take it on the chin. He have to. If you lose that game, you know, there's an opportunity then to go and knock on the manager's door and ask questions. Not now. Not now.
Is that brave management?
Well, it's worked. You know, he spoke about obviously the running power of Sarr. Like Tim said there, he was everywhere. It's a hard one because obviously Maddison played well in the first half. You know, the touches, he did everything that he normally does. One of the better players on the pitch, and then also you get substitutes at half time. You know, no player wants to come off at half time. You know, it's actually embarrassing, to be totally honest. So. Yeah, but the team's won. You know, that's the most important thing. So, like you said, you can't be knocking on the manager's door on Monday morning. Yeah. Because, you know, the team scored, you know, beat 1-4-1, so...
Well, one player who did have a premature end in his involvement in the game, but was a red card, Mohamed Kudus. Was this all frustration, Jermaine, for him?
I think so. I think, yeah, just the state of the game. You know, he just completely loses it, to be honest. You know, I think he was after everyone at this stage. But, I mean, again, you know, he had a good game, especially in the first half and that, but I think he just, you know... He just loses it. It happens. He sees there's frustrations, you know, losing, and you know, yeah, you can't do that. But as soon as you see it, you just know he's going to get sent off, and he actually does it to Sarr as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was cleaning people out left, right, and centre there, wasn't he? When I was watching, I thought he was like James Bond all of a sudden. And perhaps Sarr made a great assist for Sonny's goal, but I'd like to give him a lot of credit for that as well. Look at
Andy
Sarr.
Madley.
No, Sarr.
Oh, Sarr. Okay.
Sarr, Kudos hits him in the face as hard as he can. All right, he hasn't punched him, but he's palmed him in the face. Normally you see players still rolling around now, but Sarr didn't decide to do that. He took a step back, walked into it, let the referee deal with it, made the correct decision. But we have to applaud players who are not rolling around on the floor.
Yeah.
There was two left rolling around on the floor. There was no room for him, perhaps, but he stood on his feet.
Mickey van der Ven did get up eventually. But where does this leave Julian Lopetegui? Because all the talk beforehand was mainly Ange Postecoglou. 2 wins and 8 now for the new Hammers boss. Are the West Ham fans going to have to be patient here? Are you seeing light at the end of the tunnel?
West Ham fans patient? No chance. It's disappointing, of course. It's disappointing. I think, like I said before, about, you know, there's ways you can lose football matches if you lose in the right way. But too often you see West Ham, you know, they concede, and all of a sudden, you know, everything that they've worked on, or the performance in the first half is just completely different. Everything goes out the window, and it's almost like, you know, there's no structure to the team. And it just looked like they're playing off the cuff, and they just concede more. So I think the manager's got to be careful. The manager's got to be careful. You know, I think they've got to be careful. You know, they've got good individuals, they've got good players. That's one thing in that. But they could get sucked into it if they keep conceding goals like that.
Do you think Lopetegui's going to get more time? More time than he normally would, because how vocal the West Ham fans were against David Moyes? Do you think that gives him more leeway?
Possibly, because obviously the West Ham fans wanted David Moyes out. They might not wanted they might not want him in, but at the end of the day, you know, they wanted him out. They wanted obviously a new manager to come in, and you know, David Moyes done a good job at the club in the time that he was there. So you've got to be careful what you wish for sometimes.
Okay.